Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-July 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Capricorn. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at what's coming for the remainder of July. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We also are going to do 3 yes or no questions, take a look at your crystal of the month, and do a healing note. Well, let's take a look here. The summary card that we have for what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks, we have the card Rediscovery. This is a really interesting card because oftentimes this is like rediscovering your inner child, hence the child on this card, but this could also be like rediscovering something you loved as a kid or something you were passionate about as a kid. It's very much a rediscovery related to inner child or childhood. But let's see what messages we have coming through here for you, Capricorn. The first card that we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of kind of feeling like a feeling of apathy or a feeling of lack of fulfillment, that feeling of unfulfillment. So kind of low, unsure, uncertain feelings it seems like coming through for the last few weeks. Moving on to our next card, the Three of Swords is typically kind of low feelings as well. You could be healing from childhood trauma. It seems to be coming through here, or a past event that has really stuck with you over this time. But again, with the Three of Swords, this is heartbreak, divorce, loss, depression. It's also a card of like pulling the sword out of your own heart, meaning that you are doing some healing on your own, unprompted by anybody else or without the assistance of anybody else. Again, pulling the sword from your own heart to do that healing. Then at the bottom here we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. I feel like this could have taken some serious work to heal from this trauma or this past incident that's come up. Whatever that's causing these low feelings, this is almost like an acknowledgement of the work that's gone into these last few weeks. Let's take a look though and see what other messages we have here. The first clarifying card we have is the Knight of Swords. If you look at the Knight of Swords, both the horse and rider are moving very quickly on this card. This indicates a lifestyle change, and it makes sense to see this because, again, this feels like there is something very deep that we've worked to heal and resolve. We also have these feelings of apathy and lack of fulfillment, so indicating a quick shift or change to those as well, which we like to see. When we feel those not so good feelings, we want to see that they are planning on moving away, moving forward, moving on from them. The next card that we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is a very stagnant card. If you look at this card, this person is quite literally hanging there by their foot. Oftentimes, we need some sort of information before we can move forward with the Hangman. So there could have been a triggering event to this, or again, you could have realized that there was some sort of past trauma or incident that needed to be dealt with, but for whatever reason, we just didn't see it until recently. We didn't feel it till recently. We didn't know it till recently. The Hangman is like that information that came in. The nice thing about the Hangman is when we flip this card over, then this is the position of the Fool. So by doing this healing, by rediscovering, reconnecting with the inner child, this is going to give us the opportunity to obtain those new beginnings as well. Then at the bottom here we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of nightmares, anxiety, grief, depression. Again, some of those low feelings that we could have been working through. The Knight of Pentacles indicating that it takes some time over those last few weeks. now taking a look at July, just general what's coming for the remainder, we have the card Absence. So you could be feeling a little bit disconnected going into the next few weeks. This could be a good opportunity though, Capricorn, to just take a little bit of time for yourself. But let's see what messages we get coming through here. The first card that we have is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. This does feel directly related to what we were just talking about in the previous column, and it's kind of that overcoming, that healing, that feeling better. It's kind of that successful healing process, really neat to see. This could be recognition, success, and something else, but definitely a reflection of what we were just discussing. The next card that we have is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. This too feels like an overflow of last week, but it's really nice to see here the Six of Wands because it's like we're indicating that we've overcome these feelings, we've completed the healing process, we've been successful in the healing process. Then we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a card, interestingly enough, of healing. That seems to be the message for you going into this reading, Capricorn. But the really nice thing about the Queen of Cups, or the neat thing about the Queen of Cups, I should say, is if you look at the cup on this card, it's really not a cup. It's more so a trophy, and this trophy is you. And it's like by taking care of this trauma, you have pieced back together the trophy or polished the trophy. Again, this trophy being you and you taking care of you like the trophy that you are. So a card of healing, nurturing, being supported. Really good spread here. Like to see this coming off of the last column. Let's see what other messages we have here. We have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of teamwork, commerce, expansion, travel. Again, there could be some success outside of this healing that we're talking about. I feel like as a team at work, you could be getting recognized for some hard work that's happened. This is also a good money card, so there could be some sort of raise, promotion, very much so commerce associated with the Three of Wands. And some of you could be making some travel plans either for July or the next few months. The next card that we have is the Judgment card. Anytime we see the Judgment card, Capricorn, this is a card that is favorable for you. So with the Judgment card, this is a card of clarity, final decision, living into your life's purpose. So again, healing from this is very, very important. Moving on from this is very important. So it's wonderful that it's happening for you now. And it's like you have the clarity and have the ability to make the final decision to move on and heal from this. At the bottom, we have the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of giving or receiving help. It's a very generous card. But this, again, is like you helping you. This is about nurturing you, you taking care of the trophy, which is you. Now we're going to take a look at our next column, Capricorn, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Really anything that you associate with money. The first card we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is very traditional, very conventional, a card of expectations. The neat thing about this is like a message coming through that it's like you're exceeding expectations at work. So you're doing a really, really good job. Again, you're exceeding the expectations that are being set for you. The next card that we have is the Two of Pentacles. This is a card of having two choices, having to weigh your options to decide which choice you're going to make. And this could also be an indicator of multitasking, so really busy. So I would say that most of you are going to have a pretty busy next few weeks going into the end of July. But it also seems like there's some sort of decision that needs to be made. I see you just kind of going back and forth weighing your options here. Then at the bottom, Capricorn, we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. When I see this, if you look at this card, they're not fighting with swords, they're fighting with wands. So this is typically like small bumps in the road. What I'm going to say with this card, is that there could be like some small things that pop up in the next few weeks, but it won't be like huge fights or anything, but it will be a little bit more challenging because of the small bumps in the road. Things won't be completely seamless. Let's take a look here now at our clarifying cards. We have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a necessary transition. If you look at this card, it's a little gloomy. Everyone's facing away from us, and there's a bunch of swords stuck into the boat. But the nice thing about this card is they are moving forward. The boat is moving forward in a positive direction. So I feel like there's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of multitasking. There's a lot busy going on. But this is going to essentially boost you into that next place. Again, you're exceeding the expectations, and you are going to reap the benefits of that hard work. Again, I do see you getting to move on or advance because of this. The next card that we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. If you look at this person, they're holding all of these wands and they're like crying into the wands. So do be very careful to not overdo it. Again, you are exceeding expectations. Your hard work's going to pay off. But this is also like kind of a warning sign to make sure that you don't get burnt out just because there is so much happening. At the bottom here, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is also a little bit gloomy card. You see the dark sky, the person laying down and all the swords stuck into them. This is a very low feeling. These obstacles, I'm just going to say this may not be the exact verbiage that we should go with, but it's like these bumps in the road are going to feel like the end of the world, but they definitely are not. So just keep that in mind. You're going to be feeling very concerned, very worried. Again, very low feelings based on these bumps in the road, but they are going to be very minor in the grand scheme of things. So try not to worry too much about them. Try not to be too upset, and definitely make sure that you don't let yourself get overwhelmed or too stressed. Now moving into our next column, we're going to talk about anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationship, children, anything that you associate with love, Capricorn. The first card that we have is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence, abusive, some sort of toxic relationship typically. I do feel like there's going to be a relationship we're going to be moving away from. Again, this could be a lover, this could be a friend, this could be a family member, but somebody possesses these traits and it's leading to this relationship being toxic or not very healthy. Again, I'm saying that we're moving away, so if you look at this Knight of Swords, again, this card, the horse and rider, moving very quickly. This indicates a lifestyle change. And then at the bottom, we do have the Ten of Swords again, which is that dark, gloomy sky, feeling very low feelings, feeling like you're in a low place. It does feel like some sort of relationship's going to be ending this month. Again, it's just not healthy. Here's us making the change, and of course we did care for this person, we did love this person, so there are some sad feelings associated here. But let's clarify this column. The first card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience, hard work, delayed success. If you look at this person, they planted these pentacles and then they're just sitting there waiting for them to grow. I do feel like you were very patient with this relationship. You worked very hard to try and get it to work. And for whatever reason, things just didn't work out. But it's not because you didn't try, and it's not because you didn't give it time. You definitely did both of those things, Capricorn. The next card that we have is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is again speed, action, quick change. So you have two very speedy action cards coming into play here. Definitely feels like this is going to happen in the next few weeks for sure. It's something that's going to happen quickly. At the bottom here we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a very supportive, tolerant, empathetic person. And this actually needs to be you towards you, Capricorn. You're going to find that you're needing to support yourself through this. You need to be a little forgiving for yourself because you are feeling pretty low. So maybe you miss a day at the gym or you have a bad cheat meal or whatever it may be. But you need to almost be a little bit forgiving and a little bit flexible with yourself as you transition through this. Support yourself. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself here. Now we're going to take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide. So something to carry into the remainder of July with us. We have the card Moderation. Moderation is one of my favorite cards in this oracle deck. Moderation, I feel like, is the key to everything. And it was actually just what we were talking about too. Like, maybe you eat a cheat meal you wouldn't usually eat. Maybe you skip a day at the gym. Maybe you sleep a little bit extra. Everything should be done in moderation. Spending money, exercising, eating well, eating unhealthy, drinking, all of those things. Moderation is really key to get that fine balance, that perfect happiness. So just think about doing things in moderation. Don't overdo it, but it's okay to do it some in moderation. But let's take a look here and see what other messages we have coming through under this column. The first card that we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, if you take a look at this card, there's something different happening in every cup on this card. So it means that there are tons and tons of options, and oftentimes when I see this card, it's a busy card. It's saying that there's a lot going on for you. There's so many different things happening. Again, something different happening in each cup. This can also be a card of being non-committal. So again, there could be a little bit of flex in your schedule that there typically wouldn't be. The next card that we have is the Temperance card. The Temperance card is a card of balance, harmony, and moderation. So you have two cards in the same row telling you that moderation is important, balance is important, that harmony. This is also about being patient with yourself and, again, giving yourself that flexibility. And at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is withdrawing, retreating, moving on. You see these Eight of Cups here, but yet this person is still moving away from them. So as you go through this transition, as you go through this withdrawal, retreat, moving on, again, give yourself some grace and handle all things in moderation. Let's take a look here, clarify this last row. The first card that we have is the Tower card. The Tower card is an unwanted change. This may not have been a relationship you wanted to end. You may have not wanted events to happen this way. You may be like super committed to your exercise routine and again have to be a little flexible on it. This is just indicating that things may not happen exactly the way you want, but give yourself that flexibility, give yourself that moderation. Then we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident, very self-assured. During this time, the best thing that you can do for yourself is be confident, be self-assured. Again, this is about giving yourself some of that support that you need, that patience, that moderation, that balance. And then we have the Eight of Cups on top of the Eight of Cups. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know I really like when this happens because it's like the universe saying, I meant what I said. It's a very clear message. So again, it's that moving on, that transition period that we're going through here. Now at this time, Capricorn, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the Queen of Hearts. This is number 23 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Two of Spades, or excuse me, question number 2 is the Four of Spades. This is number 49 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the Nine of Diamonds. This is number 39 card. That's a yes. So yes, no, yes for you, Capricorn. We're also going to take a look at our crystal of the month, which is from this Healing Stones deck. Your crystal this month is Sapphire, which is good for spirituality, wisdom. It gives you really profound spiritual experiences, and it makes sure that you're always in the right place at the right time. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. People don't always need advice. Sometimes all they really need is a hand to hold, an ear to listen, and a heart to understand them. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you, Capricorn, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your July.